Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I wanted to study and journal the Wild Unknown Pocket Archetype deck by Kim Krans deeply, so I thought why not to turn my learning process into the video series so everyone will get benefited and I can also revisit and revise it later. So I made a dedicated playlist of Wild Unknown Pocket Archetype cards by Kim Krans in Marathi and in English. So you can go to my YouTube channel and find out those playlists and you can study those. So these are my personal interpretations, reflections and explanations of each archetype card. I have explained meaning of the card, imagery explanation, light and shadow aspects, context of the card in your life and message that we are getting out of this card. So you can keep watching it.
Welcome back to the Wild Unknown Archetype explanation series by Kim Krans. Today we are exploring one of the most karmic, sacred, powerful archetypes in the entire deck, the vow. We are going to see its meaning, imagery explanation, light and shadow aspects, and context of the card in your life and what message we are getting out of this card. So let's see the meaning. The vow represents the immense spiritual power behind promises, oaths, commitments and intentions. This card reminds us that words are not empty. Every promise carries energetic consequences. Throughout history, vows have been used in rituals, marriages, spiritual initiations, sacred ceremonies, and soul contracts. A vow binds energy together. It creates an invisible thread between people, paths, identities, and destinies. And the frightening thing about vow is this: even when the mind forgets them, the soul remembers. Sometimes the vow appears when you are entering a sacred commitment. Other times it appears because you are still unconsciously living by an old promise you made years ago. A promise to stay small, a promise to never trust again, a promise to never marry, a promise to save someone, a promise to suffer, a promise to prove yourself. This archetype asks, what unseen contract is currently shaping your life? Now let us see the imagery explanation of this card. The imagery of this card feels ceremonial, ancient and deeply symbolic. At the center, two hands are tightly clasped together. This is not casual handshake. It feels binding, serious, almost fated. The hands symbolize union, agreement, loyalty and karmic commitment. Above the hands, a white bird hovers like a spiritual witness. It represents spirit, ancestors, higher consciousness, and unseen forces observing the vow being made. It reminds us that sacred promises are never made in isolation. At the bottom, there is a large radiant gemstone. The gem symbolizes the crystallization of intention. Once a vow is spoken repeatedly with emotion and belief, it becomes solidified within reality like pressure transforming carbon into a diamond. Surrounding the center are powerful black radiating lines expanding towards into the darkness. These rays symbolize how a single promise can alter the direction of an entire life. One vow creates ripples across timelines, relationships, identity, and destiny. The yellow outer circle almost resembles a halo, giving the card a holy, ritualistic atmosphere. It feels like entering sacred territory. Now let us see the light aspect of the card. When you shuffle the deck or spread the card and card comes to be upright, it shows the positive aspects of the card or light aspects of the card. In its light aspect, the vow represents integrity, devotion, sacred commitment, and alignment with the destiny. This is the energy of standing by your word even when the life becomes difficult. You are no longer acting impulsively or superficially. Instead, your actions align with something deeper and eternal. The vow in its light form can represent sacred relationships, soul-aligned commitments, spiritual discipline, devotion to your path, loyalty to truth, honoring promises with maturity and integrity. This card can also appear when your soul is finally ready to commit fully to your purpose instead of remaining divided between fear and calling. There is a power in commitment. When energy stops scattering in multiple directions, life begins responding differently. Now let us see the shadow aspect of the card. When you shuffle the deck or spread the cards and card comes to be reversed, it shows the shadow aspect, that is negative aspect of the card. So what it indicates? In its shadow form, this archetype becomes heavy, karmic and emotionally tangled. It can indicate unconscious vows, broken promises, unhealthy attachments, or contracts that no longer serves your evolution. Sometimes we unknowingly build our identity around outdated promises like I'll never be vulnerable again. I must suffer to be loved. I will never marry again. I have to save everyone. I will stay loyal even if it destroys me. The shadow of the vow appears when commitment becomes imprisonment instead of alignment. This card may also reveal lingering energetic ties with people, places, identities, or past versions of yourself. Even if relationship has ended physically, the energetic contract may still remain active internally. The shadow asks, are you honoring your soul or merely remaining loyal to old pain? Now let us see the context of the card in your life. If the vow appears in your reading, your life may currently be at a crossroad involving commitment, destiny, or karmic agreements. You may need to reflect on questions like what promises are currently shaping my reality, which commitments still align with who I am becoming, am I staying loyal to fear or the truth, what sacred path requires my full devotion now. Sometimes this card appears before marriage, partnership, spiritual initiation, or major life commitments. Other times it appears because your soul is asking you to release an old contract and consciously reclaim your freedom. Not every vow is meant to last forever. Some vows are meant to guide you into chapter, not imprison you inside it. Now let us see what is the message of the card that we are getting. The message of the vow is simple but profound. Your words create your reality. Be conscious of what you repeatedly declare about yourself, your life, your relationships, and your future. Your promises are alive. This card asks you to become aware of energetic contracts operating beneath your life story. If a vow still aligns with your soul, nourish it fully, honor it with integrity. But if a vow belongs to an older version of yourself, this may be the time to consciously release it through forgiveness, ritual closure, or deep inner honesty. Because destiny shifts the moment you change what you devote it to. The vow reminds us that life is not shaped only by actions, it is shaped by devotion. So the real question is that vow leading you toward liberation or keeping you bound to the past? So what do you think about this card? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you have liked this analysis, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you for watching my video. See you in the next one.